Hey, what's up everybody? Mr. B here with Montezuma Martial Arts Academy out of Dolores, Colorado. So today we got our gear on. I'm gonna be going over a few sparring basics. Like, these are the things that are my bread and butter, the things that I constantly go to just to keep myself nice and sharp over the course of my training. So number one, we're just gonna go ahead and start right here in our guard stance. Now, one of the most basic things that I like to work is what we call the set bounce. Now, right here, what I'm looking for is I'm looking to just stay nice and light on my feet. I'm trying to stay on the balls of my feet. When I'm dropping, I'm not really trying to let my heels tap, okay? I'm just kind of keeping them here. Now, the other thing that I'm looking for is a slight bend in the knees as I'm dropping down. So right here, I'm making sure to get all of these big leg muscles so that I'm not just like hopping here like the Energizer Bunny, but I'm making sure to just use all of my legs, keeping myself in this nice athletic stance. Now, what I like this for is this helps me control the pace of the fight. All right, so if I've got a really active fighter, somebody who's just kind of always into me, I'll try and slow them down a little bit. I'll try and just bring them down, get them to match my timing. Because if I can get them to match my timing, they're in a lot of trouble. If I try to speed up to them and fight them where they're at, oh no. So what I use is I use my set bounce to control the pace of the fight. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I want to turn it up. Sometimes I want to slow it down. If I've got a real lazy fighter, they're out there, or a real flat-footed fighter, I want to try and agitate them a little bit by bouncing a little faster. If I have a really hyper fighter, somebody who's just like, off the wall, I want to try and slow them down a little bit. Just gives me a little bit of an advantage if I can get them to match my pace. So that's my set bounce. Again, what I'm looking for on the balls of my feet, okay, letting my heels just barely tap the ground, and then big leg muscles. So just a light, little itty bitty squat. Always make sure that your guard's up, 2 hands in between you and your fighter. So that's our set bounce. What we're gonna move on to next is moving from our guard into our wall. So this is where we feel that really heavy side kick coming on, all right? And we wanna make sure that both hands are here so that this front hand is still available to counter. Now, super easy move. All I'm doing here, I'm in my guard, I got my hands up, I feel the side kick coming, boom. Okay, I'm just gonna bring this hand down here, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm not really gonna make a fist, is I'm gonna kind of curve my arm a little bit so that I end up blocking with this whole arm here, and then I'm gonna keep this arm here. Now, when I'm using my wall, I wanna go ahead and absorb that side kick a little bit. I want their pressure, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slip that side kick one way or the other. So I want them to push into me, so that way, as I slip, they're really gonna end up going this way for my back knuckle, or maybe I want them to slip the other way for my reverse punch. But all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep my front hand right where it is, because it's already protecting my face. But I'm gonna bring this back hand down and give it a nice aggressive push, so that way I can absorb that side kick, and then I can slough them off depending on how I want to counter. Super easy move. Now, it also works against that heavy roundhouse kick to the body. So I'm here, boom, I feel that heavy roundhouse kick coming. I'm just gonna pop, and then I'm gonna counter up right here. That's what I'm looking for with a wall. Hands up, form that wall, be ready to absorb and shuck, be ready to step off if that heavy roundhouse kick is coming. So, couple of easy moves right there. Now, my next one is hands down the best blitz on the face of the planet. It's the front hand, backhand blitz. And it's just called that because that's how we roll. A lot of people will recognize this from kickboxing circles or boxing circles as a jab cross, but we're not just gonna stay stationary. We've got an opponent that we're trying to beat and close the gap on. So what I'm looking for here on the blitz is not just the combination, I'm looking to close the gap just a little bit. Now, a lot of people like to think that it's 1, 2, I don't wanna step until after I've delivered my second punch. So when I'm here, I get their hands up, I get their hands down, and where the score is, boom, is on that third punch, all right? So we say front hand, backhand, blitz, but that's just the name of the combination. Okay, we're really throwing a front, a back, and then a front again with a back foot step. Now the back foot step is tricky, and a lot of people don't like it because of the exposure that you get right here when you turn this hip into the cross. But I already figure that you're pushing yourself, your momentum's going with you. You might as well just take that step. And you've got the benefit of already having thrown two hands to kind of avoid eating that side kick. So again, on the front hand blitz, I'm working my set downs. I see him kind of give me that opening. 1, 2, 3, boom. All I'm looking for there, just nice and easy. Now, the other thing that you're looking for when you're throwing your back knuckle here, because this first one isn't a traditional jab, we're giving it more of an angle here because we only like to hit the side of the helmets in point sparring, all right? So we're coming out to the side of the head. Pop, make sure this elbow drops to cover, 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 okay? Hands always come back to me and work your extensions. I can't tell you how many points I've missed because I keep my back knuckle here because I'm so afraid of eating that side kick. You want to trust your back knuckle and trust getting it to your opponent fast and then your elbow down. Don't be shy, okay? Make their hands come up, make their hands come down or score, and then make their hands come back up again. But super easy from the set bounce. I'm going, I feel it pop, 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 okay? And again, I'm not stepping until after my backhand punch. Then I close the gap. I want to give them an opportunity to get confused, okay? It's not about trying to beat them. It's about getting them behind your combination. So you already know you're going to throw 3, right? So there's hands up. Get them to drop their hands. Really throw this. And then as their hand come down, boom, you're going to beat them up over the top. They can only handle blocking so many punches before they're going to make a mistake. Now, my next favorite move is a defensive move. We're working off of getting blitz, and maybe we've suckered them in a little bit by letting this front hand drop. So we're going to feel that blitz. What we're going to do is we're just going to press that rising block here. Boom, we're going to feel that blitz, and we're just going to drop and even extend a little bit on this back foot to fire that reverse punch or that backhand cross, okay, to get our score. So we're bouncing, pow, okay, and get this hand up. Now, if they're throwing a backhand punch, it works the same, except I'm just going to absorb it off of this elbow, boom, and fire. You just have to kind of play with your fighter a little bit here and there. So from the set bounce, I like the rising block mostly because everybody's coming with that front hand blitz almost always, right? Pow, score, and then I'm up, ready to counter. Okay, so the thing to get stuck with here, and this is something that I do, this is my biggest mistake, is I like to pose here. Okay, so when I hit pow, I really like to put an exclamation mark on it, and I don't like to get back into my guard, which is the smart thing to do, and I end up taking an unnecessary hit or even giving them an opportunity to score because maybe the refs didn't see it based on where they were situated. So always get your point and then break the line, hands back into your guard position. So again, from here, I feel the pressure, I block, I strike, boom, I step off the fight line. So that's my next favorite. Now, from right here, I love defensive fighting. I love trying to bring my fighter to me. It's a big part of the reason why I like to control the tempo of the fight is because I want to draw you in. So my next move is going to be really similar to that, but we're going to go ahead and toss a couple of kicks at him. We're going to start off with our defensive side kick. So we're going to just lean straight back, put our weight on this back foot. We're going to put this guard up because we want them to punch. We're going to bait them by letting this front hand drop just a little bit so they want to push with that front hand. We're going to go ahead and rising block here and side kick and step away. Now, the mistake that everybody makes is trying to stand up to the blitz, okay? I don't need to stay here. I just need to score. So when he's here, the mistake that we make is trying to, okay, and stay in that fight. No, I want to set up my next kick, whether it's a spinning back kick or a spinning hook kick. So when he comes in, I'm gonna pop, boom, and then I'm gonna get this nice twist. So here, he's ready and primed for that spinning back kick. All I'm gonna do, sucker him in. Here, lead with that block, make sure you don't get punched. Stop him and score. All right, one more time. Set bounce, stop him, and score. Easy peasy. Get those hands around, folks. Don't be a teapot. All right, now finally, what are we gonna do if we've got a guy that's just kicking at us for days? Okay, so he's just popping, 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 popping. We can't do anything about like a seemingly endless stream of side kicks. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find out where his backside is. So in this instance, he's a right leg kicker. So he's coming at me with that right side kick, and I just can't, man, I just can't find that opening. What I wanna do is I wanna let him, again, the same way that when we're using that wall, we wanna absorb the kick, we wanna give him some pressure to push against, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move into the kick just slightly, just into the range where I can just feel that kick just pinging on my front hand, all right? Pinging, 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 pinging. Okay, I'm gonna put my wall here, and then as he starts to feel me being more aggressive, he's gonna get more aggressive. That's what I want. I want him to put a little burn on it so that my hands can absorb that power. The moment I feel that pressure, I'm gonna scoop him here, okay? And I'm gonna shuck his legs over to the side, and I'm gonna use his energy to make him kick long so that he can't re-chamber. Then I'm gonna score with my reverse punch, and then finish my counter with my backhand. Now, this requires a lot of trust in your wall, all right? It also is gonna require a fair amount of movement on this front hand because they're probably a good enough kicker to bring it up top anytime they want, all right? So they're not just gonna keep it down here at the waist, okay? So I'm letting them ping me. I'm letting them ping me. I'm in the wall. The moment I get aggressive, I feel the pressure, I scoop, I score, and I make sure to put an exclamation mark on it. So again, here, he's pinging me. He's pinging me. I'm standing up to it. Pop, pop, pop. Maybe he came up high. I scoop, I score, I put an exclamation mark on it. All right, guys. So those are your basics right here. Most basic. Set bounce, working those toes. Right here, from your guard into your wall. All right? The next is your front hand, backhand blitz. Make sure you throw that third combination. All right? The next is that defensive reverse punch, followed by the defensive side kick into the spinner. Whether it's a spinning back kick or a spinning hook kick, you decide. And then finally, for that aggressive kicker, we're gonna feel the pressure, we're gonna scoop them, we're gonna step off, counter, counter. We just call that the scoop special. All right, guys. If you're liking what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. Make sure you're stopping by the YouTube channel. Leave some comments with some more information that you want to see on our channel. Until next time, asai.